Hey guys, are you ready for a stream? I'm getting my settings set here. I need to put my YouTube disclaimer out here for anybody who's not ready to watch a 3-hour recording. This is Patti Tolley Parrish, and this is if you're on YouTube watching this, you're watching a recording of a live Ustream broadcast. There's a live chat going on. Feel free to join in by going to www.ustream.tv. In the search box, put in Inky Obsessions and follow my channel, and you'll be alerted whenever I go live, and you can join in the fun on this chat as well. But if you're watching on YouTube, this is a recording. So, hey guys, how is everybody today? I'm not going to do polymer clay. I just have this box out here to show you guys how it finished up since I started it on streaming one day. But this is my box. It's a gift to my boss who's retiring. And trying to do it kind of masculine with the colors. And I work for Sienna, so I had the company stamp made so I could put some tiles in there. He's an engineer by trade, so I tried to put some numeric stuff, a stamp with some graphs, steampunky kind of stuff, numbers, pencils. You know, this stamp kind of looked like, where is it? Like a little circuit board kind of a thing going on there. He travels extensively, he and his wife, to Italy. I had this stamp of these buildings, so I tried to put something like that in there. Right, and then I used red for the grout for the beads because of the colors for the company. Huh. I was watching the stream there for a minute, lost the old train of thought. Wine corks on the side, papers on the inside I used that were from Italy, and just plain black and white in there. And this one was kind of cool that I found. It's that tiny print, says Italy, Italy, Italy all over it. And shows the boot. And then it's kind of hard to find masculine kind of embellishments. Hey Jean, you know what? I'm gonna make you... Oh, where'd you go? I hope you don't mind, Jean. I'm going to make you moderator in case we have any visitors, if you know what I mean. You can kick them right to the curb. So, anyway, I had this little thing kind of reminding me of an old lantern or some kind of a light on a ship or something. I don't know what it is. And little 2 words there, remember moments. And I had a bunch of gears over on this side. And this one just says explore. Another side with the gears, and my little fingerprint tile on the bottom. So anyway, that's how that one ended up. He'll be getting that this week. So I'm going to put this over in a safe place before I destroy it with paint and gesso flying. Okay. So I've been doing so much polymer clay, and I love it, and I'm addicted, and all that good stuff. I thought I would do something different. Oh, thanks, Denise. I hope he likes it. It's you know, it is what it is. I did the best I could with the stamps and stuff I got, so I'm sure he will. He's a pretty easygoing guy. So, I thought about maybe collaging on one of these canvases. You guys might have seen pictures a year or so ago. This is a canvas I got at Michael's, and it's like triangular sort of shape. See the shape of it? It comes out from the wall. They only have them there a couple times a year, and I try to buy a few of them when they come in. But it's the craziest thing, because I'll go there like when they don't have them to see if I can order some, and they have no idea what I'm talking about. No, we don't carry anything like that. Yes, you do, because I've bought them here before. I saved the wrappings of the label. It's the craziest thing. But what the hell do I know? So I'm going to throw a coat of gesso on this really quickly, and then, where the hell's the gesso? Here we go. let this dry while I do some painted papers. Yeah, thanks, Gene. I think he'll pick up on the theme. So let me get a coat of gesso on this bad boy. So where you got, I know a lot of you guys were on Paula's stream last night. That was a lot of fun. I'm so glad she's back. She was one of the first one I started following on Ustream when I didn't even know what Ustream was, and really missed her when she was gone. So I'm glad she's back, and it's nice that we have some followers in common. You'll know what the hell I'm talking about when I refer to her. I did one of these canvases, the first one I ever did when I was at this stamp camp, we call it, a resort where, I don't know, 13, 15 friends get together and we rent this like dorm room and facility in Pennsylvania and have our sleeping rooms right by where we have all of our workstations set up so we can leave our stuff out the whole time we're there. And I'm going to miss that trip this year. March is such a busy month for us, and Dave and I had planned a trip the same weekend as the date, so I'm going to miss that. But anyway, off topic. Yeah, I will, Denise. So I was making one of these at Stamp Camp. And we have a cook that's hired to come in and use the kitchen that's there at the facility to cook us all 3 meals while we're there. And he came over to me and said, I want to buy that. And I hadn't even finished yet. He said, I don't care, just tell me what the price is, I want to buy that. So I finished it and never brought it home. And then I did another one for myself. It's up in our living area-ish. And all right, let me set this off to the side and let this dry a little bit. I'll do the ends later. And then I did one for a friend of ours who, oh, that's good. Who's my biggest customer. But anyway, Denise, back to your question. I'm referring to Paula Phillips, Journal Artista. She has a channel on YouTube and a blog, and she's on Facebook. I'm sorry, Ustream. And then she pushes her Ustreams up to Facebook. Good Lord, I can't talk. She pushes her Ustreams to YouTube like I do, as most people do. So you can find her both places is what I'm trying to get at. She lives in Canada. She's got some really good, she's got a DVD with interweave. And you know what? I don't know the name of that. I don't know if you know the name of that or not, Jean. And Jean... Yeah, thank you, Jean. I'm sorry, I nominated you without even asking you if you would mind moderating for me. But I know you volunteered before, so I hope you don't mind. If you got to go jump off or whatever, let me know. And that's no big deal. But Jean will post a link to Paula's DVD and to her Ustream channel. But she's great fun to watch. She's got some really good techniques. She's just fun to listen to. She's, very down to earth. And, just, she's a lot of fun. So, I'm going to try to, oh Lord, I got gesso everywhere. Even on my delicate art tissue paper. Oh, that's nice. Well, it's only on the end. So, what I wanted to do, thanks, Jean. Yeah, the troll killer. Jean's going to kick some troll ass if necessary. So I'm going to make some black and white impressions on this real fine artist tissue. An ink pad would be good, would be helpful. There's Paula's link. I think she's going back to her regular schedule now, which is Wednesday evenings and Saturday evenings. And Saturday evenings is her stencil Saturdays. It's all different sorts of techniques for stencils and all that good stuff. So I'm just stamping right now some of my stamps on this art tissue. And I will cut these apart or tear them apart. Hey, Dorothy! And use those in a collage. I love circles. So concentric circle stamp, you know, I'm sure you've seen them before. This isn't the only one out there. We all know that. I didn't invent the circle. But I love it so much, I did want to have one in one of my collections. So there. So I'm going to do some of those, and I want to do, this is one of the kebab stamps. My stamps are on my Etsy shop, by the way. My Etsy shop is Inky Obsessions. And I decided to do some stamps that match my stencils. So you can kind of automatically have some mixed media layering there with the same designs. So if you got if you're really fond of one particular stencil, if you have it in the 8 by 10, and then you have it in the 6 by 6, and then you have the stamp, oh, poo-poo, missed it. Then, you know, you can get some really cool layering effects with all three different sizes of the same image that you're capable of with both size stencils and the stamps. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, shoot. I thought this was my under paper. That's good painting paper. Oh, well, that's okay. That's okay. I wanted to do some of the tribal ones. Here we go. So this is the third set of the stamps. That's what's in the package of the stamps. And they come on a sheet of red rubber for 25 bucks. And it's on this one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 stamps for 25 bucks on red rubber. And this, you'll notice, that's one of my stencils that just came out, right? That's my favorite stencil. And that's some play I was doing with alcohol ink on that Terraskin paper. Using the same images as is here. So if you see what I mean about being able to layer with the same images, kind of cool. At least I think it is. But I'm kind of simple-minded, so make your own assumptions. Let's make some of these. You know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let me use this one. See if I can line some of these up instead of making all the single imprints. Now, when you buy if you own the set or if you buy the set, you can just cut this out as one big block and have that as one stamp. I, for whatever reason, decided I was going to cut them up so I had options. I like my options. I won't fit all 5 of them on there, but that's okay. No one will know, except for all of you. Alright, let me get these all gooped up here. And I dropped the ink pad on the delicate artist tissue. I can see this is going to be a long 3 hours from the first few minutes, but that's okay. Okay. I love those. Yeah, no kidding, Pam. It's like I'm trying to juggle my stuff. Ooh, coffee. That sounds good. I usually only have my 1 cup in the morning. Now this might look like it's blurring underneath, but it's actually coming through on the good paper because this tissue is so fine. It's so fine. So I'm not going to spend all day doing these, but I did want to just show you an idea. And here's my, you know, my poppy stencil. Poppies. Is it too small? I'll try it on there and see. Here's the poppy stamp. Poppies. And, right, you know, I got the old poppy stencil. And here's an imprint of the poppy stencil with the alcohol inks, right? That's, again, on Terra Skin. I just happen to have these handy next to my desk. But see, there's this image, and there's this image. Yes, the my stamps are sold by me on my Etsy shop. That's the only place they're available. I'm going to have to start working on a new plate since I have some more new designs. I probably won't use this in the collage. I just like it. It's one of the only things I can draw. And they don't even really look like poppies, but yeah, whatever. They do in my little narrow mind. Let's see. Let's do some chevrons. Paula keeps talking about chevrons. Now she's got me on this chevron kick. Not a bad place to be. Oh, thanks for putting the link up there for the old Etsy shop. Okay, and I have some other ones already done. So, I think that's all I'm going to play with those for right now. Let me get these out of my way. Look at that. All the shadows on my nice paper. Oh well. Oh, well, I have this tissue in front of me. I want to show you a little... It was a trick to me when I first saw it. Kind of simple-minded, so not a shocker. But I thought this was a neat little trick. And I learned this from Dina Wakely. And, of course, everybody in the class had heard about doing it except for me. But, yeah, you got to learn sometime. Just wet a brush and draw it on your tissue around your image. And then just pull lightly and it just completely rips where you want it to rip. Pretty cool, huh? I'm going to see if I can get this little extra piece off of here so I keep that frayed edge around the whole thing. You don't want to get it too wet so you are pulling too much off of there. Or that just rips right on that little wet line. Just needs to be damp. It's got a little too wet over here. But I can fray that edge a little bit. But isn't that a cool way to kind of, instead of cutting them out with such a sharp straight edge, just whip around those bad boys with a little bit of a wet brush. Viola, you got yourself some cutout images. Okay, so I'm going to put this stuff somewhere off to the side for this moment. And I'm going to get these out of the way. And I thought that today I would play with a real muted color palette. Paula was yesterday talking about her 50 Shades of Gray, 50 Shades of Grumpy. And then I was thinking about maybe I'll just do a collage in all grays. And then I remembered this painting that I did with Jody Ohl when I went to Ocracoke in October for the Remy retreat, which is the retreat you want to go to if you're going to go to a retreat. R-E-M-E. Was awesome. But this is one of the paintings that I did in her class. And I love the palette. And some of the techniques that we use through here for this black and white. Almost looks like mountains or something in there. But anyway, that's what I'm going to have in mind when I do what I'm going to do. Whatever that may be. And since I already schmutzed up this piece of paper, I guess it's okay that I keep it up there and keep schmutzing. And I'm going to whip some of this color on some deli. And that color I'm talking about is this muted teal. Thanks, Jane. I really like it myself, too, if I must say so. But that was all under Jody's instruction. If you don't know Jody Ohl, O-H-L, check her out. Her blog is Sweet Repeats. She travels all over teaching. Fun person and really great teacher and really cool techniques. She's got a lot of online classes now. She did her grunge ink class online, Podcastics class online. So when you look her up, you'll know what I mean by those terms for techniques that she does. This is the turquoise that was in that painting that I showed you. I love it. It's a chroma Joe Sonia color, and this one is called Raindrop. I get these at Dick Blick, and they're Joe Sonia, and they're there's a grouping she has called the Potting Shed, I think, and they're all sort of gardeny, flowery colors. Different. This will not stay out of my way. Different shades of greens, purples, watery colors. This is the one I really like. So I'm going to throw, but what do I want to mix it with anything? Maybe just a little bit of this gray. Oh, Lord. There we go. I got to put some Vaseline in this jar. This is, actually Jody Ohl's the one that got me turned onto this color. This is a golden, it's called Graphic Gray. And I think it's only available in this formula. Which doesn't really say anything other than golden acrylics. It doesn't say, oh, heavy body. Sorry. It's a heavy body. And it is. But it's got a real, it almost looks, it's got a sheen to it. I don't know if you can see that. Where the hell's the camera? No, it won't pick it up on the camera. But it's, it almost looks pearlescent. That's what I want to say. It doesn't have that bright shimmer. But there's a very subtle pearl quality to the paint. It's really cool. But you usually have to mix it with something. So I had a card here a minute ago. Here we go. Oh, look. A Dick Blick gift card. Sadly, zero balance. Let me switch up what I'm doing here. Use my palette. Put some of this down here. And palette knife, perhaps, somewhere. I know you're here. Here we go. Put some of this out on the palette. That's right, I'm wiping it right on my shirt, which is my Inky Binky, as some people call them. That's my shirt. Yep. So I'm just gonna, hang on, you know what I'm gonna do? In addition to this, I'm not just gonna, I'm gonna do a little something extra. I don't know, let's see if this works. This is just a piece of that fun foam that's got a design in it, and somebody sent me this, and brain is a terrible thing to waste, but I cannot remember who, for the love of God, sent that to me, but thank you. I use it all the time. So I'm going to put that under there for some texture, and let's see if this comes through when I do this. Well, I can't pick it up. Yeah, I got some of that pattern in there. Now, will it show on the camera is another story, because it is very subtle. I don't think you guys are going to get to see that, but this is the pattern, and it did show up. I'm going to switch to something that's a little bit more deeply etched, so I can show you this technique a little bit better. Those foam plates, they work great on a jelly plate. But these, I think, work the best for this technique. And these are, what the hell are these called? They're some kind of, they're usually used for fabric with those big oil stick, what are they called? Shika oil crayons or something. You put them under fabric and you do rubbings. Oh, the name will hit me. But anyway, until it does, I'll grab one of these and we'll try that over here, and I'll show you the difference. As this is more deeply etched, so the pattern is going to show up a little bit better. Yep, hello. And I scooched it right into the paint and off on the shirt. That one you can see a little bit better. Maybe it's the color that it's so light it's not showing up that good. And I wanted to scrape more off of there. I'm going to put this over on the side, and we're going to try this again. We're going to keep trying till we get it. Alright, let's see what we can do here with this. Let me go from this direction. That is hard stuff to pick up. Now I can see that impression clearly, but with the wet paint, there you go, there's a little bit of a shot. It's very subtle, but that's what I want. I don't want something that's gonna jump out there and scream at me so much for what I'm thinking of in my little head. I'm gonna try it with the gray and see what happens. Now Jody said this paint is a different animal, and she's right. This you almost always have to mix it with white to get it to look right. Here you go. It must be the color of the paint, because this darker color, I'm sure you can see it from where you are. And now when I do this, you can really see that, right? Right, so that's a little more apparent for what I was going for. So let's switch designs. I have a bunch of these, but I just grabbed the first few that came into my hands. Well, you can't hate a swirl, right? Well, I guess you could, but you would not be my friend if you hated a swirl. Let's try this. And let's, just for giggles, let's mix the colors and see what disaster shall happen. Not pretty mixed. Let's carry on with that since it was. Not loving it, but you know what? It's a piece of deli wrap. I'm not gonna cry. But let's take one thing that we did with Jody in the class to make that center piece of that painting I told you about is we took, I need some white heavy body paint. Hold on while I retrieve that paint somewhere. Well, I know I have it. What the hell did I do with it? I got a big jar. Okay, well, apparently I've put that in a very safe place, so we'll just use this mural paint stuff, whatever that is. I don't even know where I got it. It was a big 16 ounces and it was only a few bucks, so I thought, nah, I'll try it. So I need 2 brushes. And I believe what we did was we took some of this gray and just kind of, I'm going to do it on half of this because then I'm going to fold it over in itself just to see what I get. That took skill, people. A lot of skill. All right. And I'm going to do this. Ooh, ink blots. That might be a kind of a cool little bit to tear off and use as a little piece of collage fodder. Set that off there. I'm going to actually do that right on the canvas for one of these. And for that I'm going to go right down the middle of this. Go back to the graphite gray. And you don't want to mix this up too much. You kind of want it gray and white as much as you can, and you want it really thick. All right, here goes nothing, people. I'm going to take this canvas and we're going to try something. That's a little bit too thick right there. I'm going to take the canvas, try to get that in the screen, and I'm just going to lay this on the canvas. Pull that up, and I'm going to try it again. over here to fill in this side that probably is off the camera right now. There we go. Of course, I got a little blob on there that I don't want, but La Baby Wipe will take care of that. It'll probably get covered up anyway when I get going, but I'm going to throw that in the middle of that canvas. Hey, Rain. This is one of those triangular 3D canvas thingies. This is going to take quite a while for this to dry because that's on there pretty thick. I think I'll straddle it over my space heater. Huh. Stand by, that loud sound you hear may be a fire alarm. And here we got some of this left over. Let's try this again. Still enough paint on there to get another impression. Well, we'll see how that goes. So I said I missed slinging paint, and whew, slinging it now. Now, I wonder how this would look if I did that same kind of thing with this turquoise and white. Thanks, Jean. Better dial 9-1 and just have your finger on the 1 again, ready to go. You can never be too safe when I come up with these brilliant ideas. It's so much warmer here today. We probably got about 6 inches of snow yesterday. It was cold and snowed all day long into the night, changed to sleet, changed to rain. It's 40-some degrees and melting. It sounds like it's pouring down rain outside because of the speed that it's melting, which, that's good. Oh, yay, Rain. Thank you so much for your support. I hope you like them. I'm sure you will. But I hope you enjoy playing with them. All right, I'm going to do another blob of this raindrop over here. And I'm going to kind of splat this around. And splat I did. I'm going to take my white and kind of splat that all around. All right. The paint's so thick that once you fold this like this, oh, see? It comes out and smushes around more. Raindrop, they named a paint after you. So, let's see what we see on this ink blot. See, this is really, I'm psychoanalyzing all my viewers, and they think I'm just doing art stuff. Well, can't say that I see anything too incriminating in there. Or do I? You know what? I'm going to go this way. I mean, talk about your wild and crazy thing to do. It's like I'm a maniac today. Oh, that made some kind of cool blends and swirls of that will look really cool in a collage. This thing's like dripping though. It's going to probably take till Easter to dry out, but yeah, what the hell. And I'm running out of drawing space. Okay, let's get a little bit of area cleaned up. I'm not sure that that was my best idea, putting that splat on the middle of that canvas right off the bat. But, you know, we're in deep now, so we got to keep going. Hey, Pat. I'm so glad to see you on the stream. I hope you're doing great. All right, I'm going to keep this one gooped up. And I'm going to take, one thing I did not do to this canvas, which I should have, is I want to make some impressions. Oh, I might use these. I'm going to take a thin layer of modeling paste. Let's see what I can find in here. Wash gel, matte gel, light paste. I have some of this, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try, this is Finnabar Art Basics brand. It's a new modeling paste, and it's called light paste. It dries opaque and matte, and with a more airy texture than the hard modeling paste that we're all kind of used to. And I'm going to smear on here a thin layer and make some marks in it, and then set it aside again and let it dry. Ooh, it's like, wow, that is light. I can barely feel. That's a nice texture. It's like, I don't know, not quite. It's heavier than whipped cream. Not quite as thick as pudding, but real soft and lightweight. So I'm going to scrape. And I'm doing this for some texture that's going to be in the background of the canvas. Just using a palette knife. And then I'm going to try, can you guys see what I'm doing here? I'm going to take one of these plates and just kind of throw it up there. Press that in. Give it a little squiggle. Oh, that gave me some. Baby wipe that off of there. Before I have too much of a problem. And that gave me some texture. I don't know if that'll show up white on white for you guys. Oh, there we go. See that? And I'm going to take, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this stencil and I'm going to use more of this and go over the stencil. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Hang on. I'm going to get the 6-inch version of this, so it's a little bit smaller in scale. I need to put this thing somewhere. I'll put this over the space heater. That ought to be really combustible. Okay, let me find my 6-inchers. I'm digging through my stash drawer here. Here we go. There we go. And this will be kind of repeating the pattern of the, you know, the stamps that I did on the tissue that I'm going to layer on there. It's kind of repeating that pattern again. How clever am I? There we go. So this one is a total mess. I got to clean this up a little bit. Thanks, Jean. Are there any first responders in the house? This one got really munged up because I got it on both sides. Lordy. But that looks really cool though, I gotta tell you. I don't want to go to too much trouble because I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, so. I'm going to put some down here. Down here, I'm going to use one of my handy dandy little scrapers. Oh, I just got these new ones. Let's try these. It's less of a stretch. I got this new little pack of Ranger texture tools from Queen's Ink last time I was there. And they make all different sorts of edges on there. See the different designs? Well, the picture shows you what it'll do. So that's kind of handy. So what do I want to do? I want one. Let's do this one. I'm going to take these off the ring though because I need more elbow room than this ring's gonna. There we go. I'm going to make a drag like a circle in this. Molding paste. Get a little more texture in there. So let's see if you guys can pick up any of that. There you go. So that's just going to dry and give me a little bit of bumps and stuff underneath of the paint that I'm going to put on there. I'm going to flip it and do the other side. Similarly. Even just these strokes of the palette knife are a cool texture underneath of the paint. It's really going to show up a lot more than it is just looking like, you know, looking at what you're looking at now. Let's see. What did I put down there? Down there I put the circles. I'm going to take a different tool and make some other marks up here. So I'm going to try to put these similar designs on the opposite side down here, and this was just the circles. And there I'm going to do something similar with one of these other textures up here. I'll use this one. Okay. So this one maybe I'll just do that. Okay, and then in here, I'm hardly watching the stream, you guys, because of I gotta kind of watch what I'm doing here. So if anybody has a question, Jean, keep pummeling me till I answer it. Or do that, the less than and number 3 sign to get the red heart up there like Paula was doing last night. I thought that was very clever. Get that red heart symbol up there so that'll catch my eye as I glance up. What are those texture scrapers? These are by Ranger. And they come on that little keychain. I think there's, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them. And they each do, the picture on there shows you the texture of the teeth. And you just drag them on your jelly plate, or like I'm doing on a canvas, or, you know, that kind of stuff to make a texture. All right, I'm going to go back with this baby. And I think I'm just going to come down here. I don't want to cover the whole thing. And just scrape that through the stencil. Ooh, look at you. I loved you. This is my favorite stencil. Of all of them that I've made, I think this is my favorite one. I just love this tribal theme. There you go. Pam's got your heart together. You know what? This is so slopped up. I'm going to run this over and run it in the sink real quick. So, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Don't want to ruin my favorite stencil. This will live to play another day. I am hard on my stencils, I can tell you that much. Take a pretty good beating. All right. I'm going to put a lid on this. Okay, and look, my thick paint, well, it's still not cured, like it's still a little soft, but that's almost dry from sitting on my heat source. So I'm going to put that there. So here's how I ended up on this side. Where's my light? Hello. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Well, you're going to have to trust me. There are some swirls in there. Oop. There we go. And here we got more pictographs down there. Maybe. Can you see it? And then when I pulled the stencil off, it gave me those little puckers. Like little peaks, which I really like that texture. Okay. And this is going back on the space heater. And we'll see where that gets us. Okay. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm going to save this and use this for under paper now that I've destroyed it. This is printmaking paper that I wanted to use to make painted papers for the collage. Forgot it was under there, and well, there you go. So I don't know, let's see, let me use some of this paint that's here. And I'm just scraping this on this printmaking paper with a old gift card, nothing fancy. Got some gray mixed in there. That's okay. This paint goes a long way when you do it like this. It's such a thin layer, and it's almost immediately dry. scrape some of this off my brush. Another little squirt. This color, Kate, is a Joe Sonia color, and it's called Raindrop. I get it on Dick Blick. It's a really pretty muted turquoise. Kind of got like a gray quality to it if you see it in person. Very soft and cool, calming kind of a color. Very spa-like. That's the word I'm looking for, spa-like. I'm trying to leave some white space on here because I don't know what else I might do to this. You never know. My hands are cold. I should put my hands over the space here. Yeah, pays attention with the question mark. There you go. Yeah, I'm actually paying attention to what I'm doing today. I don't know why. So, what else do I want to do with this? I want to do something. Do I want to stamp it? Maybe I will stamp it. And I think I'll go back to the pictograph set and work with that theme a little bit. And print block. Hello. You know what? I wonder if I can use this with just one of these. Oh, I know what I want to do. I know what I want to do. Hang on. Let me find it. I'm going to use some silver accents in here. So that's bringing back the palette with the silver and the gray and the white, black and this teal in this painting that I did. So you guys that came in a little bit later, I showed this earlier. I did this painting in a class with Jody Ohl at a Remy retreat in Ocracoke in October. And I'm doing another collage, same color palette. And I remember, now I don't know if you guys can see this, these little lines up here are silver, the little circles are silver. I sprayed some silver through a letter number stencil. So I'm going to mix some silver in with these papers. Thanks, Kate. It's actually for sale on my Etsy shop. I actually made two of them. I liked it so much. The one I have listed on the Etsy shop is actually on a thicker, more professional, higher quality canvas. And this is the one I actually did in the class. So I'm just going to bounce some of these around here. Now remember, this piece of paper is just going to be used in the collage and cut up and torn and Lord knows what else may happen to it. So I'm not so much looking for an overall composition as I am just some different elements to mix it up a little bit. And I'm going to switch and put another one of these designs out here. And I may go the opposite way for this, actually. Let's go sideways with this one. Why? I have no idea. Because I can. I'm in charge of my paper. Yay for me. So these stamps are one of my stamp sets that's in my Etsy shop. Here's there's 16 different stamps on there on a red rubber sheet for 25 buckaroos. And you'll notice that these symbols are the same as the stencils. So I made stamps that match my stencils. So I used the stencil and the molding paste on the canvas to get that larger image. Now I'll blend it in with some of these smaller images with the stamps. And that kind of helps pull it together a little bit. Thanks, Rain. I'm going to go off the edge. All right, now I'm going to take some silver. Get these out of the way for a second. And put a big this is golden fluid silver iridescent fine. Right? And I'm going to now I'm going to find a stamp that I want to use. Maybe I'll go back to this centrifugal, the circles? Concentric. Oh, couldn't think of the word. My word left me. And can you guys see this paint, the silver paint over here? I'm just going to spread it out on the palette paper with my finger, and I want to get it kind of thin because I don't want it too gloppy on my stamp. Probably not the best way to do this, but oh look, silver finger on my shirt. And I'm just going to lightly pop a few of these here and there. And this will give this paper a little shimmer. Oops, that was a plop. A plop indeed. Too much paint on that one. I let it slid under my hand. Yep. Again, too much paint. That's okay. That's all right. Try to get that. I don't know what that's going to do. That might be a total flub. Oh no, that brought the shape back. What do you know? Try this one. Yeah. Not my best idea, but yeah, what the hell, you got to try. Like Paula was saying last night. You don't know till you try, all right? Don't be a sissy. It's a piece of paper. Okay. Now I'm going to wipe this off of my stamp. Hey, Erica. So let's see what this looks like. And if I need anything else, I got another idea of something I want to add in there with the silver. But when you can see the silver, the metallic of the silver, and can picture, you know, a little chunk of this somewhere in a collage, you know, a little bit better image. So I'm going to take my card and I'm going to go in and grab some of this silver paint on the long side of my card and drop some lines, little dashes in here, different directions. Just a little 1, 2, 3, real light touch here and there. And just that little peeking out of that little bit of silver will really add some interest to your, you know, wherever it hits in your collage. Never throw out old gift cards or old hotel keys. They're a handy tool to have for this kind of stuff. Now some of these, I'm going to go through this actually and see how that looks. Actually over that image. Try this one. Be a little different piece to pick up if I like it. Okay, so there's the little silver slashes in there. See that little bit of a touch? What's the stamp mount that you're using with the handle? Oh, that's from, oh my gosh. Now the name's going to escape me. They're in the UK. I almost said it. The lady that is associated with the place or owns the place does a lot of YouTube videos, does a lot of jelly plating, a lot of card making. Clarity Stamps, that's it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. They're the ones. So I'm thinking this needs to get the paint off the back of it that I just shoved in my palette for one. Maybe some other little something of black in there, I think. So I'm going to take some black paint. Is this dry enough up here? Try to find a little spot on my palette that's dry enough. And somewhere over here. Oh! Scared me. Where the heck did I put my... There we go. Lid to a mason jar. I'm going to make a big circle of black on the shirt. And I'm going to dip this jar lid in there. And let's see if does this help me or does this hinder me? How can a black circle not help? I'm just saying. You know, and I may just get a little piece of this in the bit that I tear off for the collage when I go to make it. And that's okay. Alright, there we go. Okay, that's a little more interesting, I think. And still keeping with the color palette. So I'm going to set this. I'm running out of setting this space. I'm going to set this right there. Thanks, Rain. Yeah, I mean, you know, you just throw some stuff out there and try to keep, I'm trying to keep with that same palette, and it'll give me some pieces to pull from when I get elbow deep in the collage part of that. So I think what I'm going to do is turn this piece over, and actually I'm going to turn the whole stack over because I don't want to mess up another piece of this good paper. And now I'm going to try scraping some of the gray and kind of doing an opposite color to what I just did there with the turquoise. I want to make some of the gray my main color on this, scraping on this one, and then kind of work backwards and maybe get more, maybe use some PBO as a metallic sheen for some of the stamp work. You dig? I dig. Oh, look, 50 Shades of Gray. And like Paula was saying last night, if you like lay this card down flat and scrape it, you get this thick part. But if you have it almost like perpendicular to the paper like this and scrape it, you get a real thin layer that's almost immediately dry. I'm just going right in the jar for this paint. Leaving a little bit more white space over on this side. Okay, let's start there. Patty, Denise would like the specific on the printmaking paper. Please size and weight. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I think it's 70 pound. I got it. I don't have the packaging anymore, Denise. I got it from Utrecht. And it's a standard, I was going to say 22 by 30. Now looking at it, I'm not sure it is. 12. 18. I'm betting that's 24. Yeah, it's 18 by 24. I think it's 70 pound and it's called printmaking paper. That I do remember. It's heavy, but it's not so thick that it's really awkward to collage with. Okay, so now let's try something crazy, shall we? So I'm going to go back to these pictograph stamps, and while I still have some wet silver paint, I'm going to take my finger and kind of get another thin layer of that spread out, that I can get some of my stamps, and let's stamp with the silver on these. It's going to be very subtle, which is kind of what I want. I don't need everything to be so bold. There you can see them. There. I'm going to wipe this stamp off so the paint doesn't dry on there too badly. Oops. Get on there. I grab another design. I don't think I used this one on the other. Smooth out my paint again. Gets all those little dimples in there from the shape of the stamp. Oh, it is, Eileen. Good with distress inks. You know, I have a lot of distress inks, and I hardly ever use them, and I don't know why. I guess I don't do a lot of inking. I mean, my black archival pad I use all the time. I don't know. Guess I don't use. I should. Maybe because I don't make cards. Is that why I don't use them that much? Who knows? I do not know. All right. Okay, and now I need a little more drizzle of silver because that's drying up on me, but just a little tiny bit. This is really highly pigmented stuff, that golden's. Where the hell did I put my card? Is that it? There we go. And let's get some lines down with this. On this gray, I think will look nice. I don't know why, I just think 3 is the number to do. Does the paper have any special finish, or is it just the size and weight that you like? No special finish. It's fairly smooth. It doesn't have that like nap that you'll find with like watercolor papers. It's more of a fine tooth to it. There's no special reason I bought it other than I was watching a video and somebody recommended it, so I thought, I'm going to assume she knows what she's talking about and try some of that. Okay, now let's do something crazy. Let's do something crazy. And let's go with some PBO circles. And trying to keep with this palette. I'm going to have to go to another piece of palette paper. I got this one all schmutzed up. Look at you. Oh, I could just eat you up. Oh, how can you not love this paint? This is PBO Studio Acrylics Dynacolor. And it's the iridescent blue-green. It's blue paint with green iridescence in it. So I'm going to hope that doesn't go so far off track of my palette here. I'm just going to put these rings on here with that. And we'll see what happens. Again, it's a piece of paper. I'm not going to cry about it if it doesn't work out so great. But it'll give that another little pop of a little something something. Subtle. But, you know, over here I'm going to do like a little bit more of those, like clusters of those. And keep the one side more plain. Okay, so there we go. That might end up being too green to use on this palette. I don't know. We'll see. Ooh, what else can I do with this? I do not want to waste this. Oh, I know. I want to do some black on there. But let's try. I wonder what that would look like. A little bit of that on there. That's kind of cool. See, it's fine, but it really, if it catches the light right, will it on the camera? It is here in person. When that catches the light right, it really jumps out at you. I'm actually going to do this whole page like this because I like what that looks like. And it'll help me use up this paint that I refuse to waste. If I have to eat it instead of waste it, that's what I will do. Not really, but you know what I'm saying. I'll love me some PBOs. And the PBOs, for the YouTubers that don't know, you can get those at Dick Blick or fineartstore.com. And it's PBO, P-E-B-E-O. Studio acrylics, and they're the iridescent colors. Ooh, look at you. Trying to get it to flicker on the light for you, but that fine line, it's a little bit tricky, but I like it. I like it, I like it. Throw you up there. Oh, how about you, black and white paper? That's dry now. Oop, got it on paper. Just a little hint on there. Be another element that I can bring in. Right? So, all right. Got a couple papers, some stamped images, a frozen right hand. My left one's not too bad. My right one's she's a little chilly. Okay. All right, let me get these out of the way. And yeah, I saw those at Michael's too, that Michael's are carrying PBOs, but they do have like the basic colors. I've not seen Michael's carry, or Hobby Lobby carry the iridescent ones. That's a shame. Oh, look, I'm going to decorate my shirt with the paint that's left. Now I got some round PBO sparkles on my shirt. Okay, so now let me check on the sitch over here with my canvas that's sitting on the heater. It's nice and warm. It'll warm my hands up. I think we're dry enough to start slapping some paint on here. Okay. But you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more. This needs more. I need more of that gray and white through the center. So, let me make another little blob of that. And get my brushes cleaned off here. You know what I'm going to do before I totally waste all this paper? I'm going to move the printmaking paper and leave my newsprint, which is what I use for my underpaper, there in its place. Feel an avalanche coming along behind me here. Oops, oh my God, hit the camera. Hang on, people. Oh, good grief. Get my cord out of the way. Woo, slow down. Very professional operation here. Yep, we were on a tight ship. Okay, I'm going to go back to this graphite gray heavy body Goldens. Right? And I'm just going to slap, slappity, slap, slap, heavy blobs. Just splat it around, right? And then I'm going to take some similar white paint. I know, Jean, sorry about that. Everybody hang on. Take your Dramamine when you sign up for my Ustreams. That's all I can tell you. Denise, I get the newsprint that I'm using here from Dick Blick by the ream. And I bought a ream of it probably 2 or 3 years ago whenever I started doing all this stuff. And I'm still using it. I probably have half of it left. So I'm going to go with big splats of white. And randomly just blob them on there. Oops, that's too much. Too much, too much. All right. All right. And now we're back here. I want this more of a defined separation, not just a few little splotches on here. So we're going to go back with another layer. That's better. That's more what I'm talking about. Let's go over here. It's very random. It doesn't really... You just want to get some black and... some of that gray and the white and let it mix and be on there. Ew, look at you. I want a little bit more over here. Towards the bottom. There we go. And I'll show you, for those of you who think I've lost my mind, which could be right, let me, show you what I'm going for. I'm going to put this back on my cooker here for a minute. Here's the technique in action across here, making this kind of middle area through this way. Groovy. So I am going to oops, my brain froze there. Oh, I know what else I want to get out because I don't want to forget to use this. I did this in Hatteras and I love the look, and I'm going to paint with a feather I found on the beach at Hatteras. That's how I got all these really fine lines here, and this in the teal right here. That's from my feather, and I like to use that as one of my tools now when I paint, which hasn't been much lately, and I really miss throwing some paint around. Alright, get those jars closed up. And if you could see my work area here, you would understand my situation. Get those brushes in the water. Got quite a bit of paint glopped on them. Alright, now let me get my wits about me here and decide how I want to do this. I'm going to work around the wet bits, and this really set up nicely now. You probably can't see it. No different when it was wet than dry. The white on white. It's very difficult to see. There you go. There's a little bit of a glimpse. Where are they? There you go. A little bit of a pictograph image in there. So you can see what I'm talking about there. But I have pretty much destroyed that paint palette. I'm going to get that out of my way. And I'm going to grab a new palette. Oop, that's too big. Don't want that gigantic one. Here we go. Okay. Alright, let me see if I can make myself a little bit more elbow room here. Okay, so one thing I want to do, I usually do these bigger pieces over on my huge table. Dave made me this table. We had a, where he came up with a piece of bowling alley in the shed when I first met him, I don't know, although he does bowl. So he had a huge chunk of a bowling alley lane in the shed. And when he saw me wanting to get into all the art stuff, he said, "Hey babe, how about if I make you a big table out of that bowling alley?" Well, he did. And that sucker is, it stands bar height, so it's like 42 inches high. It's 9 feet long. I think it's 4 feet deep. And takes 3 men and a boy to move that thing. And I usually use that and stand up at that table to do the bigger pieces. But I can't get my camera set up there properly, so that's why we're here, kind of scrunch around. So what I'm going to do is, where's my blue brush? Was that my blue brush? Let me just see if I have another blue brush. There we go. Yeah, Robin, with the, you know, the little skinny light colored blonde wood strips that are real tight with the dark wood arrows in them that tell you what lane to try to get your ball in and all that good stuff. Yep. He is, Rain. God bless him. You should see when I was doing lamp work, the setup he had put in for me. One, because he thought I was going to burn the house down. I was working on a wood table and it would come in, it would be smoking here and there with burn marks. He said, I came home from work one day, there was this huge box in the garage. I said, "Hey babe, what's in the box?" He said, "Bought you a metal table. Don't want you to burn the house down." So, yeah, they had a whole exhaust system put in for me. Because the toxic, some of the fumes that come off the glass when you melt it are toxic, and we got enough of the bad stuff going on, so we try to be safe when we can. So I'm going to go in with the raindrop, and I'm just going to paint this on kind of loosely. Get a little bit in here. If I overlap, I don't care. And now you can start seeing the texture a little bit more in there, right? So I'm going to get this down. Nothing fancy, just kind of slopping her on there. Takes a little more zhuzhing around to get it in all that texture. And you don't have to cover up all the texture, you know? Nobody says you got to do that. Oh, I hear the pitter-patter of little feet here in the background. Oh, thanks, babe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ah, ginger ale. Very timely. Thanks, hon. And then I'm going to spray this with some water. And then I'm going to use a piece of deli and lightly blot some of that up. Oh, look, jelly print. It's, yeah, it's canvas. It's just an odd shaped kind of pyramid shaped canvas. There we go. Okay, just trying to get a little bit of texture in there. And I wanted more drops in there. I'm going to let that dry a little bit more to try and come back to that. And okay, I'm not watching the stream so much while I'm doing this, guys, so jump up and down if you have a question. And I'll peek when I can. Kind of half paying attention here. Alright, I'm going to take another spritz. You know what? Maybe this time I'm going to use a paper towel. Is that the difference? The deli's not absorbent enough? But I got a better raindrop kind of a look. No pun intended, since that's the paint I'm using. Ah, yes, that's what I want. I want paper towel on this side. Yeah, and it's good down here. Thank you. So I lifted a little bit of that. You can see some texture. And I'm going to, on this side with the pictographs, I'm going to take a fresh baby wipe and try to very lightly lift some of the paint off of those designs so they come up a little bit more distinct. It's kind of, that sounds easy, but it's a little tricky since I don't want it to come off everywhere, and it's the raised part is really not all that raised. You can see a little bit more texture in there, right? I'll lighten it some up around the edges here too, so it kind of is more cohesive. Let me see what damage I did over here. Wipe that back a little bit. Chick, that is Joe Sonia's, it's called a background color. I get it at Dick Blick, and the name of it is Raindrop. The color of that color is Raindrop. We usually drink diet sodas, which this is, but it's a Canada Dry, and it's ginger ale, and it's called 10. I think there's 10 calories in it, and the sweetener, it's really good. It's not like icky diet flavor. It's a nice. All right, I'm going to let this sit for a little bit, and I'm going to head down here and do a more consistent coat of the turquoise, the raindrops. Keep falling on my head. Hey, Jamie. Take some scrubbing to get in all these nooks and crannies left by my texturizing. This coat, I'm going to leave this one alone. This is like the bottom of the composition, and I'm saying that because the pictographs I put on there are kind of oriented reading this way. So this is the top and this is the bottom. So what I'm going to do on the bottom is I'm going to leave this more solid. I don't need as much texture down here because once this dries, I'm going to go over it with some white and then scrape back the white while it's wet to reveal some of the turquoise underneath of it. That's my plan. Oh, almost knocked my damn ginger ale over. Get that more off the edge. It's like working with a 4-year-old. And I'm not worrying about the ends of this canvas until the end. I need somewhere to hold on to this puppy. So I am really literally scrubbing this paint and all this texture. But it really does look cool in person. Gonna have to trust me on that, unless you're gonna come to Maryland and see me. But I love the randomness of this gray and white, putting it on with the deli paper like that. God knows I need to lose some weight. Lordy. When I was on chemo with all the steroids, well, I had 16 rounds. So it was over like 5 months, I guess. And I had a lot of steroids I had to take. And I had complications where I had to stay immobile for about like 4 months. Complications with my the drains from my mastectomy. And I was one of the people who during chemo actually gained weight. Never thought that was possible, but it is. And I said, yeah, because of steroids and, you know, how good the anti-nausea drugs are now. A lot of people do gain weight, and I gained 2 to 3 pounds every week over 5 months. So I walked out of there 60-some pounds heavier than I went in. And then come to find out some of the meds that I've had to take over the years make you gain weight. Great. So, yeah, I'm lugging around a lot more arse than I used to, I can tell you that much. So, I'm going to do something I shouldn't do. I'm going to do it anyway. Inside. I just have to find it. So, I'm going to go on a search for some silver spray paint. I think I know where it is. Got it. And this is one of those low odor paints, or so they claim. Oh, and then I found out that one of the drugs, actually 2 of the drugs I've been taking for years, make you gain weight. Shoot me. So, it is what it is. I'm still here, right? So, what are you going to do? Okay, I want some black spray as well. Where I have put my black spray paint. Is that black? Find out in a minute. So I want to get a little more interest going in here. Yeah, right, Jade? I'm still here. So I can, it is what it is. Not too worried about it, to tell you the truth. I'll do what I can when I can. Alright, I'm just going to spray some images through there, and then maybe again over here. Get off of there. I'm not sure about that low odor claim, to tell you the truth. Okay, quite a bit of paint was on there rolling off. Get that wiped up, at least spread out so it's thinner and won't stick Oh, that's cool. Can you guys see that? Look at you, silver pictograph. Ooh, I loved you. Now I want to do a little something in black as well. But what shapes do I want to put in there? Maybe something just subtle like these lines like that. I don't want it to take over. I just want, oops, that's silver. Cool. Whoa, that one's definitely not low odor. This might not have been a good idea. Ooh. Yeah, this is Montana spray, this last one. The first one was Liquitex. Oh, I can tell you what. If I start talking crazy, Gene, you might want to resort to that 911 thing again. Yeah, that one was a little more serious. Okay, so there we go. We got some black, we got some silver, stencil stuff going on there. I'm going to sit this for just a minute. Oh, probably really shouldn't sit this on the heater now, but I'm gonna. Because I live right on the edge. If you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much room. Jamie, it's one of those 24-inch tall 3D canvases. I'm going to show you the back of it so you can see what I'm talking about. It's kind of triangular. So it's got some dimension coming off the wall. And I'm kind of doing it in a similar palette as this one that you've probably seen before. Right? That's kind of, sort of what I'm going for with the palette. Thanks, Dana. Have a good day. Okay, let's see. Now, all right. I'm going to let this dry a little bit more down here. And I'm going to get some silver paint on my palette. Very cool. Michael's, Jamie, but they only have them like sometimes around Christmas, and then somebody told me they just saw them there a few weeks ago. But the strange thing is, if you don't get them when they're in, they have no idea that they've had them. So it's a very elusive canvas. I've Googled it. Nothing comes up. It's called a pillar. A canvas pillar. Pillar. And it's made by Artist Loft. That, you know, the regular brand of canvases they have at Michael's. And I've got some silver paint on my finger. I'm just going to do some circles here and there. But they have no idea that they've had them. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. It's all just an illusion when you get there. Okay, now I want to start thinking about, is this dry enough? It's still a little cool. I wonder what would happen if I tried going over that now. You know what? Let me get the old heat gun out. Nobody says I can't heat gun now, right? You're welcome, dear. Heat gun! I'm going to try to make sure this is drier down here. I want to go over this with white and then scrape some back. But trust me, nobody that works at Michael's has seen them either. They look at me like I got 3 heads when I go in there asking. Even when I have the wrapper in my hand showing them what it was and that I got it there. Nope, we've never had those. You kind of did. Alright, we're going to call that good enough. And, okay, I had some gesso earlier. Are you still, oh, it's still liquid. What do you know? I'm going to put this in here. And, you know what? I'm just going to use the brush I gessoed with. Because I just want a light coated gesso. Okay. Oops. Get on there. Oh, Lordy. Okay, here we go. This part always scares me because I'm covering up some of the good stuff. Ooh, here we go. You guys see what I'm doing? I'm going back over this, the turquoise I left solid. With a little bit of gesso. And now I'm going to use one of these catalyst wedges. Maybe that, I'm not sure. And I'm going to go over this to see if I can scrape back. There we go. Some of the gesso to reveal the turquoise underneath of it. Yep, this way. Not an exact circle, but that's quite okay. I just want to make, oops, got orange paint coming off. That's great. Get my little boo-boos out of there. All right, and then I want to take, what do I want to take? Let me just use a baby wipe and see if I can do that. Grab a baby wipe and just kind of rub off a little something here and there. Get back to that turquoise underneath of there and maybe some lines. Right, nothing really exact, just another layer coming through. And let's go back over here and another coat of gesso. I've hardly watched the stream at all today, guys. I'm all in trying to concentrate here. Hurts my brain when I use it that much. All right, now let's see what do I want to do here. Can I wipe back some of the pictographs, maybe? Light enough that they show? Alright, and let's do maybe this stencil again. Up here. And wipe out. Sorry, this is really hard to get in the frame here, guys. I'm just doing a wipe back technique. Kind of what Paula was doing last night with the wiping the paint through the stencil and wiping it back with a baby wipe. I want to expose more of that turquoise that's underneath of there. There you go. It's giving it a little bit more texture. And you know what? I might do some of that over here and interrupt this circle because it got so wonky on me. Maybe in the center of that. I'll wipe some of that back. A little bit more. Okay, and then maybe let's do a little bit more of the fingernail through the baby wipe up here. And just some sort of a random fashion. That's pretty random. Not sure if I like that, but it's in there now. I know I can gesso it, but I'm not. I'm going to roll with my instinct. Okay, now. Okay, so here's where we are. All right. I'm going to set this aside on my space heater. If you hear a big kaboom and see a puff of smoke on your screen, it's been nice knowing you guys. See you on the other side, as it were. Little ginger ale. And now I'm going to look at some of my papers with my clean hands that I painted earlier to see what, to see what I want to use for some little collage bits on this canvas. Let's pull these back into the picture and see what we have. You know, I have some of this black and white, I got this checkerboard deli paper. Look how cool this is. I love black and white. And I found this somewhere on Etsy. I don't even remember where the heck I found it anymore. I mean, if anybody's really interested, I could figure it out. And here's some of this acrylic skin. I might put some of that stuff on there. Just trying to gather my little bits and pieces of what I might put on there. Oh, look. Here I had some stamps of my little tribal stuff from before. And a little bit of text. This is deli that was printed with like a London newspaper on it too. So, that gives me a little start. Okay. Who's leaving us? Moon? Thanks for joining in, and you have a great day. Whew, my hands are freezing. Okay, so I think I want to use a little piece of this text here, maybe, somewhere. Just going to tear up some little pieces. Not so worried about the straight line because sometimes I'll just use these right at the very edge of the canvas. Alright, that's enough of that. A couple of that. Keep the skin on the side here. I'm going to move some of these things off to the side. And then I got my circles that I made, right? And where's my little paintbrush I was using for this earlier? Did I put it back? Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to use this, oh, you know what? This is deli. That won't work that way. That only works on the tissue. Never mind, I take it back. So this I'm going to do this. I'm going to tear this on my ruler. Not sure what I'm going to do with these, if anything, but I suspect a piece or two is going to end up in there somewhere, since that's one of the themes that's going on in there, is this little bit of stuff. And then, let's see. I bought that London deli paper, the same place I got the same Etsy store where I got the black and white checkerboard deli paper. It was an Etsy store. I got no idea where that was, honestly. You know, I might actually cut this instead of tearing this. And I don't even know if I'm going to use this. Oh, was she, Jean? I'll have to try it. Don't know if I'm actually even going to use this, but I'm going to... It's hard to pick out just a piece. Just the right piece. Alright, I'll keep that out to the side. And... yeah, Robin, you know, she's out of those black tiles. I tried to order some myself, and she was out of the black. She had black pearl, but I like the flat black ones myself. I'm just going to go right up the side of this one, and I'm sure in this strip I can pick out something that I might want to use. I don't know if I'll use any of this stuff, this deli I did or not. Maybe a little bit of this one. Okay, so here's the pieces I'm going to keep in mind to use as little collage bits as I go. And then all these little tissue and deli pieces. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut this one in half with the water brush technique of, there we go, just wetting a little brush and painting the water where you want the tear line, wetting the tissue, and it just very gently breaks away, and no mistakes in it ripping into the side of your image. Okay, so now let's see. This is the blotting pieces I used. I'm going to move this stuff over here. I did email her about that, Robin, and I haven't heard back from her. And usually she's really responsive. So I'm thinking maybe she's away or something. Okay. Let's go back here and let's see where we are. This is such an awkward piece to try to work on in a limited space. Okay. I just kind of play with the stuff, kind of dry fitting it. And I'm going to grab some matte medium. I'm just going to use this, I have this Utrecht matte medium that I've used for a lot of collages. And I'm going to start slapping a few of these pieces down. To where I have a brush that I like to use for my, here we go. These are cheap brushes, but I really like them. They're, can I even, Royal and, I can't even read it. It's a common brand, Royal and Nickel or something like that. You get them for a few bucks a piece at Michael's. But I really like I like them. I don't know why. I just do. Okay, so I'm going to put kind of opposing circles on here. I'm going to go, for some reason, I don't know why, but I think I want a little black up here somewhere. Not there. Maybe there. So I'm going to paint on the canvas. This is so sheer I can't even tell which side's the right side where I stamped the image. And we're going to stamp on, oops, paint some matte medium on the tissue. And this is on, oops, crap, artist tissue. It's really thin. Alright, put that down there. And it almost pretty much disappears once you get it set right and covered again with another coat of matte medium, but it is frail, let me tell you. Got that second thickness folded under there. We go. It pretty much disappears. Yep, and wrinkles all at the same time. Give that a good coat of matte medium. Trying to press fairly hard. Oh, look what I just did. You know what? I might leave it there. I might just leave it there. It looks kind of cool. Alright, not that hard. Ay, ay, ay. I'm going to leave it. Oh, such a bold move. I'll act like I meant to do that. And then I'll look genius. Doesn't happen much, gotta tell you. Did you guys, I was not watching the chat. Did you find that paper? The London paper and the checkerboard? Now, if I could only screw this one up the same way down here, wouldn't that be ideal? I'm going to go right here with this one. Maybe I don't need to paint the back of the paper too. Maybe that's my problem. Let's try just doing it like this, shall we? And then go over it with a decent coat. Maybe I'll have less of a chance of flubbing that up. There we go. I like it. I mean, it pretty much disappears. You can see just the faintest shadow on there. But when I get done, you won't even notice. Okay, so let's do a little bit of this text. I'm going to take a little bit more of that off of there. No, I want the capital letters, though. Hell with it. Okay. No, that's too big, isn't it? Okay, let's try something about there. This I will paint the back of. It's deli, it's a little bit more strong. Oop. Let's see, where do I want to put that? It's awfully lumpy there though, so I hope this works. Okay, and then I want to offset that with something over here. Ish. Still too big. I don't want all that big piece on there. I think I'll go there. All right. All those Etsy links flying around. Is that the deli? Did you guys find it? Okay, so there's the two pieces of the text paper kind of in place. Kind of going like opposing, like, you know, something up here, oop, hello, up here on this side, and then similar image down here, and, you know, the same with the text. So now I want to get some of my little tribal elements in there too. So let's see, where do I want to put something like that? You know what? Is that as vivid as that art text though? Where did that go? Oh my. Something just avalanched on the other side of the world over there. Where did I put that? Hang on, I want to try to find that, what I stamped earlier today, on that tissue. Where the hell did I put it? Gene, you're not watching me. Hose myself up over here. Where, oh where did I put you? Well, isn't that special? Oh, here we go. Never mind. I got it. Yeah, this seems brighter, more vivid black on the tissue than it does on the deli. Maybe that's one of the beauties of the deli. So, since I'm on the tissue, I'm going to use my little brush and ooh, that's spread into the image over there. Maybe I won't use that image. Maybe I'll just go down here. I just love this technique. I was in Dina Wakley's class when she showed us, and I thought, that's right there, that's the price of admission. I'm good if I don't learn another thing. See? Pulls it right out. Just wet it. Falls apart before your eyes. Alright, I'm going to see if I can get this one out of there a little bit. And just the slightest amount of water, it just comes off of there like butter. I'm going to try to split one of these too. Instead of having that big blob of text, or that symbols, I'll just have a couple. Let's do this one while we're at it. I'm on a roll. And you can kind of, you know, guide your brush. It doesn't have to be a straight line, so you can tear around the images, right? Groovy. Okay. Let's put this off to the side. And see if we've learned our lesson about how to use this stuff. Oh, Patty, lose at least 5 things. I know, I know. Where can it go, Jean? Where can it go? Honestly. Okay, I think I've got like 4 quadrants here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm going to put one of these in each little area, but not so much mimicking. I do have to find a smooth place though, because it's got a lot of texture. Right there, it's pretty smooth. Okay, and I'm not putting it on the tissue. I'm just going to put it over and under. There you go, little fella. Ooh, yeah, I like it. All right, let's do something down here. Maybe right in there. Oop, leave a little bit more. That's hard to, my depth perception must be off. It's hard to figure out how far to dip into that deep jar when there's not much left in there. I do love these symbols, I gotta tell ya. If I must say so myself, I do. And this one, little fella, where are you going? Let's put you down here. Here? Yeah. This will be your forever home. That's the ticket with this tissue. Not to put it on there, because you're in a whole world of hurt once you do. Let's try putting you. Maybe I can dip the little bit of a leg of this image down into here. Maybe on that white tissue. Let's try that. Yep, a little crooked. Okay. All right, there's another little step done with those collaged on. Right? Okay. You know, I don't even know if I'm going to put any of my painted paper on there. Do I really need it anywhere? I don't know that I do. I don't know that I do. Let me think about that. In the meantime, I want to do one of these should be bigger. Let's go with this one over here. I don't want these circles all the same size. And luckily I have more wet silver paint. So we're just going to make this puppy much bigger. Okay. And perhaps a little one down here somewhere. It's really rough on this side. It's hard to do a smooth. Maybe one off the edge down here. There you go. And then maybe one over here somewhere. Oops. I don't know. For some reason that feels good right there. Yep, not so round. Oh, you're supposed to be a circle. You will be by the end, trust me. Or else. Okay. Now, I want to take my... Where are you? A little Stabilo All pencil. And I'm going to go around my circles. All right, outline that a little bit. I'm going to leave this one alone because that one's still wet. That'll give me a little more shape, hopefully. And I'll get those later too. But in the meantime, activate those a little bit with some water. Then put a kind of a smoked out line around there. Oops, hello, get off of there, you little rascal. Okay. Now I think I'll do a little bit of feather painting while this other stuff dries to show you that. Because I thought that was really, I really liked that. It was fun. Put my lid on here for the time being. So, put my brush in some water. This out of the way. What do I need? I need a little black paint, which I have. Here it is. I'm just going to use some fluid, Golden's fluid, carbon black on my palette paper. And again, I'm just going to fan it out with my finger. Get a little bit thinner area here to play with. And when we did our retreat, our Remy retreat with Jody Ole and Ocracoke, I was telling you guys about, every evening we had a cocktail hour at sunset, and we went out on the beach by the place where we stayed, where our house was, and watched the sun literally go down every night. It was gorgeous. So while we're out on the beach, we would collect little things to use in our art, and there were a multitude of feathers that could be used. And so I got myself an array of feathers while I was there on the beach. And then when I was doing that painting that I did down there, I thought, hey, wait a minute. Let me use some feathers here. I think I need to do something down here. That's kind of plain, but we'll worry about that later. So what I did was I just take the edge of the feather and doesn't matter if it's really straight or not, because that's kind of the beauty of it. I mean, it's a feather, right? Dip it in the little razor edge in the paint. And I was doing stuff like oops, kind of off screen there. See these real fine little lines that I'm adding? It's just a fine little detail, but that's how I did it using the feather. And I might go back and get them in there even tighter. Just kind of pounce the feather wherever you want that little rascal. I might do some down here to put something right on that ridge across the oops to the other side, right? Give it a little bit more interest there. And I'll come up here to this circle. Oop, hello. And just do a few lines through the circle, right? Maybe turn this puppy around and bump some in there. Seems like the faster you go, the cooler the effect comes out, because it's more organic, I guess. I don't know. See that natural curve that's in there from the feather? Right, so I'm going to keep that as my black paint feather. And I'm going to go in here with some turquoise paint. And I had another feather. Come here, little feather. You'll be my turquoise feather for the day. And then I take this where it'll show on the more darker pieces, right? And maybe do a couple little lines through there. And a couple through this little piece over here. And maybe right down the paper, right there. Maybe change it and go crossways this way up here. Right, and then put a little something turquoise on this side. Like right here's a nice black splotch right in here. And just kind of boom, 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 boom. With a feather touch. Ha! Right. See what I mean? So, look what I did down here. Jean, what are you doing? You let me do that. Schmutzed up my circle. I gotta blame it on somebody. And gonna have to be Jean. I love you. Okay. All right, let us make that a larger circle to cover my flub up. How about that? I mean, I guess I could use a paintbrush. That might be a little more controlled in my finger. Good enough. Yeah, Jean, it's all texture. That's right. Okay, so here's where we are. Alright, here's down the other side. I got to doctor up some more of these plain silver circles. But while my silver paint is still cooperating, oh, you know what I'm going to do down here? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let me get out my... Where the hell did I put that stencil? Alright. Jean, this is unacceptable. Okay. Play rough. We'll just have to go for the large one, and maybe that's the way to go anyway. But I'm going to take a handy dandy makeup sponge. And right here where I said I needed a little something, you can really see the texture of that pictograph in there now, the way I wiped it back. See all that in there? I'm going to enhance that, I hope. Which ones do I want? A few of these shapes. It's going to get right on that silver. I'll go this way. Oh, mercy. This is going to be tricky. Don't be sliding on me, Bessie. All right. And where did it land? Right on my silver circle. Sweet Moses. That's all right. Yeah, look at you. A little tone on tone action there. And maybe I'll do a couple more. I'm looking for the simpler designs, not the, there we go, not the ones that are overly intricate. I'll put, this one looks like a hangman's thing to me. That looks like an oriental little, what are they called? Pagoda? No idea what I was doing when I was making these. I just sort of kept drawing. Okay. Well, now you're on there. I don't know if I like you or not, but you're there. Get this off my stencil. I have beat this design of this stencil up since I got it. Oh, look. Okay. So that's a little more tone on tone. Right. There. And where else did I put? Oh, over here. All right. So, let's see. I feel like I need something more black down here. Oh. Don't panic, anyone. Oh, where the hell did I put that? This is impossible that I lose this much stuff in the course of one 3-hour little segment. Nothing says loving like a big old black circle right where you need it. And I say we need one right there. Yes, we did. And I say we need another one over top of this paper and right through that black and white ridge. Right about there. Definitely going to need one up here. Do I go off the edge? Do I want it more in here? No, it's a little bit blank right there. All right. And might as well get more of these down here while I got the paint wet and got the lid handy. 1, 2, 3. Let's go off the edge up here. Off that edge. Something right about there, maybe. And something right about there. A little something, something there. I think we need something else going on up here. I don't know what that is yet, but it definitely needs something. And for now, we're going to say that's going to help. Yep. Almost got you on there. Well, I'm going to leave you. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now, my computer just stopped checking for updates. Good Lord. Not now. There we go. Got you back. Okay, so that, I mean, just that little circle that I added there, the big black circles, kind of adds something. Adds that little, it gives just fills in that empty space, and it's not overly busy. I really like this paper, but I don't feel like I need anything else on here. Do I need anything else on here? Telling you, a little pop of black, that's the way to go. Okay, I'm gonna guess that this silver circle up here is done. I can do a little pencil around here. Got a little Stabilo pencil. But what I'm going to do before I seal this, because you know when I go to put a sealer on here, it's going to activate this pencil again. And of course I learned that the hard way. So I'm going to take a spray varnish and go over those areas that have any of that, like the Stabilo stuff or any of that stuff that can run again or activate again, and put the kibosh on you. I will take care of that. Yeah, I probably will do that, Denise, when I get to the end and see where I need another little papa. Another one down here. But anyway, did I finish my thought process about the using the spray varnish over this and let that dry before I put the brush varnish over this, because it's going to activate again? I said it in my head. I don't know if I said it out loud. Do not know. This one, I don't like how that looks. Up here, it's too bold of a circle. Looks too contrived. I'm going to fix that. I'm gonna. Put a little down here. Yep. Don't screw me up now. Okay. Let's see, can I just wipe that off maybe? Oh yeah, hello. See what I mean? The varnish would have taken that puppy right off of there. Here's what I might do. Where's that gray? Just a little touch of this charcoal. Oh, that's a little too thick in the lid. Go and get some of the softer stuff. And a little bit of gesso. Just mixing it up for a little bit of a Oh, is that going to work or no? Maybe you should use a brush for that. I'm trying to put a little shadow around the, need a little bit more gray in there. A little shadow around this side maybe. Let's try that. Oops. Brushing the black paint. Concentrating, you can tell when I don't talk. Takes every brain cell I got. Do you have a black Inktense pencil? You can use that activate with water. When it dries, it's permanent. Oh, I do, Jean. I didn't know that it was permanent, though. Oh, I learned something new. Thank you so much. This probably isn't the right brush to be using, honestly. Perhaps I'll switch. Okay, now I'm undecided what to do with my boo-boo circle up there. Do I leave it and that's my trademark? Do I not? Oops, here's one here I gotta do. Oh, I did that one already. Can't really tell. I'll do some more around there. All right, so now I think I'm going to take my little silver paint. There's a little bit left there. I'll try to use that. And I'm going to go back with my feather. And I'm going to try to... I need more. That's not going to work. Get real. I need more silver paint. That was too thick and gloppy. It won't work. Okay. Back to the feather. And let's do something through here. Did I do that off screen? Little silver pop up there. And let me try to get some more silver up here in this dark area. All right. And maybe through here. A little rhythm of the silver. To break that up. And maybe some right here. Not liking you, but I'll figure something out with you in a little while. Whoop. Okay. Let's go some up here. These are such fine lines. Comes out really cool, I think. Alright, and then I want to do, oh, that was also my black feather, wasn't it? I'll flip it over and use the other side for black. How about that? my black's still usable. And that doesn't look so good, but we'll call that little blob texture. Oh, here we go. Flip it over my silver side. Get this guy over here. There we go. And then I have my turquoise feather. Oh, my turquoise is blobbed up. I love this palette of colors. I'm usually, well, you guys know what I usually am doing, real bright stuff, but I do like this. I love this turquoise color. And okay, hang on a second. I'm also going to take, where were we? A little, of course that one's got a bent tip. These little, what are these called? Shish kebab things. What are they called? You know. Drawing a blank, girls. Forget what these are called. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Anyway, I'm going to do a little something with black paint with those. I'm going to put a little over here. You know what? I'm not going to use paint. I'm going to use ink. Here we go. A little Bombay. Skewers, thank you. Jean, again, save me. Okay, so I'm going to take some India ink. And I'm going to dip my little skewer in there and get some ink on the tip of it. Right? And I'm going to just, what am I going to do? Something. I'm just going to let the weight of it fall off my hand and just kind of like drag very organically through there. Blot off the big drop. I'm going to do it again. I don't know if you guys can see how fine that is, but I'm just letting the weight of it, I'm just moving my hand and letting it go where it thinks it wants to go. Look at that, it's still juiced up with ink. Look at that. Can you guys see that? How fine that is? There it is. That's wild that that holds that much ink. I like it. It's a real fine detail. And I'm trying to go where it starts out in white. And I'm just letting my hand barely holding on to the thing. That's kind of cool. I'll do another one, kind of originating from the same place. Let that one kind of trail off a little bit. That's really cool. Can you guys see that? I like that a lot. I'm going to do more. If some is good, more got to be better. I'm going to turn this so I can let it drip and just go where it wants to go. Or drag, I should say. Yep. That's crazy that it goes all that length, all the way off the bottom of it. Can you even see that real fine right here? Wow. Me likey. It's so random. I don't want to overdo it either. It does kind of look like it's cracked, like it's aged and cracked. Start one out of here. Look at that, it's still going. Ha! That is wild. I wish you guys could see it. I'll put some stills out on my Facebook page. Hey, great fine line. Twist the brush and the paint. So as to get a very fine point and learn this in toll painting. Ah, fabulous. I like that. Now, do I do any going up? I don't think so. I think it looks like a gravitational dripping sort of a thing. I gotta watch my time. It's almost 5 o'clock. We're almost done. Well, the stream's almost done. I am clearly not almost done. Well, actually, I'm pretty close. Honestly. Not that far off. Let me get my black feather action going here again while I got some black paint. I put turquoise on there, but it needs some black right there. And I want to, while I have silver wet, I want to go back, especially up here. And this needs some lightening. I'm undecided about my screw up here. If I want to let it there and make it a statement. Like I screwed up and I don't care. Or do I want to fix it? I don't know. You know what? I'm going to end up with a whole series of this kind of palette here. You might end up upstairs. Oh, we got to do something with this baby too. Okay. See those little subtle little lines I put? Let me catch the light. There you go. You can see one at the top. Right towards the peak. See those? As you move around this, you can see that silver will catch your eye. I need to do something with you. I do not like you. I'm sorry. I just don't. Should I put maybe some gesso around you? Will that help you? Or am I going to totally flub up the whole thing? Because I don't like you. Let's see what you look like up here. Oh, Jesus. I almost dropped the whole thing. Woo! Sweet mother of pearl. This is very difficult to manage in my confined space here. Okay, you know what we're going to do? I'll tell you what we're going to do. I only got a few minutes left. 6 minutes. Anybody got any last minute questions? I'll tell you what I'm going to do though. I'm going to take a brush with the silver that I have left. I'm going to make this even a bigger circle. Oh, you mean a script liner, Denise. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I was surprised that wooden skewer, how much paint that held. I will be doing that again. You can believe that. I know I'm probably out of the... Really a lot of texture in this canvas. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to get ready to wrap it up, ladies, and I will finish this and post stills on my Facebook page. My art page on Facebook is Inky Obsessions. So you'll be able to find, I'll try to tweet some pictures too. And been using Instagram. But anyway, here's where we are for the time being. See that silver light up right there that circle when it catches the light? The lines are doing the same. It's just not as apparent for those little feather strokes and the credit card lines. But I like how this, we have 3 different sizes of this script. We have this, of this pictograph size. We have the small stencil layered underneath in the modeling paste, and then this larger one stenciled over top of it. There's a lot of layers building up there. A little pop of the silver down here. I just got my 3-minute warning. I wish this camera was clearer close up. There you can see some of those little streaky lines I just did. And the silver of the spray through the stencil of the pictographs. Right, see the credit card lines. Big silver blob I have to do something with. So anyway, there we are for now. I'm going to walk away, have some dinner, come back with a fresh eye. And yeah, Dorothy, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to let it stew. And no, celebrate. I don't teach anywhere live. I just kind of play. I wouldn't mind doing that one day, though. Actually, iStencils mentioned something to me about possibly traveling to teach at some point and demo the stencils. So that may be something I get to do in the future. I think that would be fun. You should see my mess. Lordy. But for now I don't. But something I would like to do in the future, I think. You are welcome, Denise. No, I won't be streaming again later tonight. I got a lot of stuff I have to do, actually, in preparation for tomorrow. So I won't be doing that. I think I might, though, looking at this with this triple layer of this pictograph down here, I might bounce some of that up here where this pictograph is and the modeling paste. I might do some silver pops of it up there. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, I like it so far. I love this technique of putting that black and white through there like we did with the deli paper right off the bat. But anyway, okay, ladies, I got about 2 minutes left to say my goodbyes. And sorry, reading. I didn't have a stroke. So anyway, if you've watched this whole thing on YouTube and you want to join in some of the live chat and fun with the rest of the group, go to www.ustream.tv and search for Inky Obsessions, and you'll find my channel and you can sign up there. And